Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Frosty510 here, and I'm going to tell you what I like about the DMZ Beta. Alright, let's talk about what DMZ is and what it's trying to be. So in DMZ, you play through a match. Basically, you land in the world. You're automatically placed a certain distance apart from other players. And you bring in whatever guns you got. So you can bring in one insured gun. So that can be something that's really good with great attachments and all that. But if you, or you can bring in contraband. And if you get shot, you go down. Your teammates don't revive you. They all get, they all get shot. You get squad wiped, or you're playing solo. You lose it all. You lose your backpack, which at the minute I've got a large backpack. So you start off with a small backpack. You don't have a gun slot in it. You don't have any of these stuff at the top. So I've got, self-revive, gas mask, and the armor thing, so I can have more armor slots. Armor fit. You can always bring in a tactical, to which I've got stim there. Throwing knives. Throwing knives insta kill Watts. So if you go in and say you don't have anything, bring in a throwing knife and say dead silence and just use it straight away. Run around and throw some knives and get some guns off some enemies. And you can also bring in a field upgrade. So it doesn't matter which one you bring in, I'll be honest. Munitions box is nice, but you tend to need a munitions box later, and you'll probably find other field upgrades. Recon drone is nice in theory, but I just, I don't tend to use it. You can just spot the bots from a distance. So, okay, so you go with all these. You don't have any weapon, you just run in. The weapons you're going to find. Mostly, you're going to find RPKs. There's a shitload of RPKs. Let's not dance around it. The game is full of RPKs. Every enemy bot, they either have an RPK or the Kasnov. And it can be the Kasnov U or the Kasnov assault rifle version. So you can bring in an RPK straight away. Just start with that. So I do recommend, if you've got your RPK leveled up, just bring it in as your insured weapon. If you lose your insured weapon and you go in another game, you can... just by exfilling, you get time reduced from the time it takes, the cooldown on your insured weapon coming back. So you just keep playing and you get all your stuff back. So why I like it? I like that you have the threat of losing everything. It's kind of annoying, but then again, you can get an RPK in 2 seconds. You just spawn in, and there's always enemies within arm's reach when you spawn in, and you can just, throwing knife them, grab the gun, you've got a gun. It's not a big deal. I like the missions. So this is something... So there's lots of missions here that are easy to do, that don't have to do with exfilling necessarily, but there are some with exfil, which you can do early on in a match. You can exfil so easy on your match. There's not that many real players in the game. So this is probably the part that may change in future, is that... And the part that people criticize. So I watched, Dr. Disrespect's stream when he was watching the, the testing, or the first play sort of stuff, and he wanted less bots. So he wanted, more bots. It's just bots around the stronghold, and then once you wipe them out, they don't respawn. You don't get more coming in, and you have, more normal people. But I've found I prefer this mode when you don't encounter too many people. Like, you can if you want to, and I can tell you how. So let's just go in solo, and I'll sort of explain. I won't try and do the missions because they're a bit tricky. Extracting bandages is easy. Kills with the pistol, I can do that. So actually, I will put the pistol on because I need to put a pistol on. Lots of the challenges are really forgiving, so you can do like part of it. So for this one, you got to acquire a basilisk. You can just come in after you find one, if you haven't had the mission, and then just put it in your backpack, and then spawn in the game, drop it on the ground, pick it up. It's easy. So let's deploy. One of the things I would want them to change is that your major backpack, there's a couple items that don't refresh, which I don't like too much. So that's the stronghold keycard. That's one thing I wish you could carry over between games, because you can carry over keys, which I don't really care about, but you can't carry over stronghold swipes, because if you could, that's what I carry. Every time, I would just collect them and just put it in the backpack, because so many times I've run into the stronghold, can't open the bloody door. So So if you want to encounter players, all you got to do is head to a certain spot. Or there's a major spot you can head to that people will be there at some point in the match. Or you can take the train. So jump on the train, eventually other people jump on the train, you can shoot them. It's not often that they don't jump on the train. So you'll encounter people there. Exfil sites late in the game, of course you'll encounter people. So it's kind of one of those things where people exfil generally earlier than they have to. So the final exfil, where the radiation's coming in, you don't, maybe you'll see a squad there, maybe. I mean, it kind of depends. So some people are doing that for the calling card challenge, because there's a whole bunch of calling card challenges for DMZ. So this is kind of another reason why you do it, because some of them are quite nice. So we've got to complete the faction missions, which I think all the faction missions are doable. So some of the, the end ones of the group are, quite challenging, but not unreasonable. So for anyone of any skill, I think they can do them. And the best thing is that your teammates, when they're completing their challenges, you can help them. If you do, you exfil with the bandages and they need to exfil with bandages, it counts for them as well. So there's a great teamwork element to this game mode. So me spawning in solo could be quite disastrous. So one of the things you got to take note of is if you can have armor-piercing bullets, that helps. Not too much, but okay. So I'll stow that, and I'll take a thermite, a shock stick. I probably won't use it though. Oh, well, we'll take that though. So stow that. So the loot's pretty simple. I think pretty simple. So you want a large backpack, but then if you die, you lose it. So I'm going to try and... Okay, I'll just look at the map. This will be able to explain it to you. So you go in the normal Warzone map, see the blue parts of your exfils. So I can just go there right now and exfil, no problem. Because you spawn in fixed positions, you're really unlikely to run into enemy humans, unless you move across to another zone, say across to here. Cities, the big city, there's always people, there's more people here than generally ever anywhere else. So here's where you'll always find people. There's always a stronghold in the middle, and in the stronghold is a special case. If you exfil with the case, you get a special blueprint. So there's 7 to unlock. I've got 1. But you need to have a pass. Again, why having the stronghold pass thing is really annoying. I wish you just could go in there. And you can't always buy it. So at the buy shop, it doesn't always sell it. So, and of course you need the cash. Now each mission has a indicator. So when you zoom in on it, it can tell you what it is. So that's secure nuclear material. So you know what every mission is. You know what every building is. Tells you the name. It tells you the ones with keys. Oh, I don't want to get shot. So I'll just probably get kicked for inactivity. So there's all sorts of different buildings. Again, you don't have to worry too much about it. You just do your missions. I think that's the best way to play. This is the radiation zone. It's not like a bigger circle closes in on you. It's this one spreads out. And if you're in there, you die over time. There are pills you can take to survive longer. But you shouldn't worry too much about that, because you don't want to be around that long. Unless you're doing a challenge to the final exfil, which I haven't encountered yet, thankfully. So one of the challenges people have to do is take control of the SAM site and have it shoot down a supply drop and then loot the supply drop. So you'll see people taking over the SAM site. It's pretty easy to do as well. I'll show you them on the map. So where are they? Where's a good spot for one? Where are you? There we go. Why is it on my map? So there's one over here. Where is it? I think it's, yeah, here. So there's one here, and there's a couple others. So again, when you're within range, they'll pop up. They're not filling the whole shit. See the SAM site symbol above safe on the right hand side of the screen. All right. Some of the places, I went to the embassy with the embassy key, and I found that there wasn't much loot. I didn't really enjoy that. So sometimes you get keys to places, you don't get good stuff from it. Don't sweat it. You will lose your stuff a lot, so let's just run around a little bit and get shot. Stealth matters. Oh, god damn it. Sorry, just let me... It always resets your controller configuration.
Use your tag map to locate contracts awarding cash.
So I might Just exfil. So I've been here quite a while, so there's sometimes the bots spawn in just to... See, there's one over there. One over there. I'm not going to engage them because I'm on my own, and you can get killed quite easily on your own. So one of the things that you'll learn playing DMZ, the bots aren't as easy to take care of. They're best taken care of on your terms with a stealth weapon. But after that, they can be quite challenging. Oh no, I've got a headshots. Ah, okay, let's... I've got a vehicle. I can run away. Let's try and pop some headshots. Okay. And let's just take it easy. Oh, I wish I had some attachments on this. That'd be quite handy. Alright. One. So you're always given an armor plate. So that's one of the things you should always have one on. So it does refresh.
Ultra One, activity has increased in the area. Keep your
Okay.
eyes open.
Let's get that shot. There's another one over here. Okay, that's two. That's three. You will lose your shield pretty quick, and then even when you get to tier 3, you'll still lose that pretty quick. That'll actually do me. I might get out. So, solo scav runs, the thing that people do in Tarkov, they're not so effective in this. You're better off in a team because the bots will take you down quite easy when you're on your own, and then you got no one to res you. Alright, let's pink that. Now, some people, as soon as they spawn in, they exfil because they're trying to do the challenge card. If people are exfilling, god damn it, the exfil locations change each game, so I'm used to one being there. Oh no, this is the worst exfil location. Some of the ones up on hills are quite challenging. The observatory exfil location is horrible. Never, ever, ever go there unless you have no choice. It is jam-packed with bots. It is so hard to exfil there sometimes. Other times, you sweep in there, you get them all, you're all good. So when you call an exfil, you get a timer. Sometimes it spawns enemies, other times it doesn't. So look, there's one there.
Ultra One, UAV is bingo fuel and RTB.
Whoa.
Ultra One, Dino 4. We're approaching the LZ.
So watch out for vehicles. So one of the things you can tell, if a vehicle rolls up quickly and then exits, like it then goes from red to grey, that means it's real people. So you've got to be careful. One of the things you'll also notice is generally the bots don't finish you off. Sometimes they will in strongholds and that, but generally they don't. So if people in your team, they're a bit far away from you, they get shot, they don't get a timer, like they just go straight to wiped, so someone finished them off, that can be a sign that it's a real person. So not always, but it can be. And then you have to be careful because, again, as soon as you run into real people, it just becomes war zone. So the rest of the game is 4-player Spec Ops, but occasionally you run into people and then it becomes war zone. So I got a couple headshots there, not too bad. So I'm happy to take cheap progress sometimes. It depends. If I was with the squad, this challenge, I'd do it. Not a problem. You can kill 30-40 AI in a match quite easily. So I picked up the pistol. Yay. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So one of the things that annoys me is you get cooldown time reduction on an insured weapon even when you haven't got one on cooldown. I find that annoying. I think it should reduce future cooldown, so you should get like value from it. Oh, I nearly maxed it. Okay, so I want to talk about one of the other things that annoys me is your customization. You can't do customization of your vehicles, but if you do it through Warzone, sometimes it carries over. There's a bit of funky stuff going on with the Warzone connection, so In terms of perks, is actually some of them do carry over. So you do have perks, but they're kind of random at times. So you can have like scavenger without meaning to. I mean, everyone has scavenger, I suppose, but it's kind of, you get more throwing knives. It's kind of weird that you have it because you don't have a choice of loadout in the loadout of that. Now we got this weapon. It's garbage, but it's just nice to have more weapons. I don't know if there's a max capacity for this backpack. This, for how many weapons you can hold. And if you destroy a weapon, which I'll do right now, why I'm not removing that, I'm removing this one. I don't understand why it's doing that to me. See, that one's there. I don't want to destroy that one though. I'll destroy that one. Why are you doing that? Okay, whatever. Bugs and things. Okay, so what's the fun part? Is it just cleaning up mindless bots? No, the fun part of this mode is that it's team based. So again, like I said, 4-person Spec Ops I think would work. And then it's always been 2-person, and it was 4-person back in 2019, but the missions were way too hard. A bit ridiculous. Yeah, I'm complaining, they were too hard. But I feel like, yeah, so I feel like the Spec Ops, the time to kill is pretty good, I think, in this. So I wouldn't have minded 4-player Spec Ops, honestly. So my worry about where they'll change the game is that they'll add less bots and more people, and then it'll become more like a Warzone. So at the minute it feels like it is different. It is more like, say, Spec Ops. But it also has good, I like, the basic element, the Tarkov element, you're losing your stuff. I like that there is a price for dying, for getting squad wiped in the first minute by bots. I like that. I would like to be able to save the self-revives and chuck them in the backpack. That'd be nice, in the storage. That would be good. One of the other things is some of the operators, you'll never see Hutch as a bot. Or you never see Callisto as a bot. So some of them look more like bots. So sort of these sorts of guys, Zero and Axel, with the the helmets and that, they look more like bots. So if you do want to disguise as a bot, give yourself some more time. But again, you won't run into many people. I mean, unless you want to. So the safe zone drop. I mean, this the briefcase. Final exit. You can have plenty of action there if you want. It does take a while. The game's quite long. So that might change as well in future, as they might make the circle expand faster. But then you need time to do missions. To get the money so you can go and buy stuff from the buy shop. Again, the buy shop I don't think it's that good. Because you can only buy contraband. You can't buy, say, like your loadout weapons in Warzone. So if you could buy your loadout weapons in Warzone, and then you have something you really want to keep. So you have more than just your insured weapons. Then bloody hell, that would be crazy. To unlock these, you need to do missions. So I'll go back to the missions. So some of the missions, again, I talked about, say, destroy 6 vehicles. This is a great example because I've, accidentally killed myself in a vehicle by doing that. But it's quite silly. Show previous. Okay, so you have the tiers and you go through them. And then you progress. And eventually you get to tier 2 story missions. A Legion of White Lotus. And then you got to eventually get to tier 3, and then you'll get more insured weapon slots. So one of the other points, the things like criticism I have, is that I feel like the insured slots aren't enough of a reward to grind it out. I enjoy doing the missions. I think they're great. I think they add the vibrancy to the game. I think without the missions, the game would be in real trouble. So you do need to have a purpose. It's good to have... I'll go on the calling cards. It's good to have the challenges for DMZ, I think. Even though I think for those who like to collect all the calling cards, it might be quite annoying. So they may look at these as go, oh, this is an obstacle. So this is something that I'm not going to be able to do because I just don't want to do it. Because I don't like DMZ, which is fine. It is what it is. You do it, you don't do it. You have freedom of choice, and you have rewards for basic things. I think the calling card new challenges are great because you just got your basic hip fire kills, long shot kills, headshot kills, double kills, just basic kills with lethals, assists, and kills. You've got the basics, absolute basics, nothing crazy, and you've got some, some nice calling cards. I do think the way that they're put together, I think once you unlock them, they should be in standard, because they're not. So like the Scorpion one I've got on, you've got to go down and press it from there. So it's kind of weird. I think there's a couple of weirdness, that you have to go down here all the way and grab it. So again, the UI, which everyone talks about, which is, I don't know, it's just not, yeah, it is what it is. Anything else? I feel like I've probably talked a bit too long, but I like the mode because, again, you work together as a team. I've rezzed a million. If there was a res calling card, that's the one I've been progressing quite well. I've been rezzed by many times. I love when you, even if you get, your revive time runs out, people can still come back and res you. I think that's great. I kind of feel like, you can always rebuy people in a war zone, but I wouldn't mind that element. So I like that, and I like that you feel you have to work together, because the bots can be so punishing. You can put yourself in really silly positions, and the riot shield guys are no joke. You got to be careful. I mean, they just, unless you got a thermite you can chuck at them, they can shoot around it. It's just, if you could shoot around riot shields in multiplayer, oh my god, that'd be so unfair. They nerfed the accuracy, but it's just, I do recommend playing with others. I haven't used the mic much, because when I did, people just breathed in the mic. So again, proximity chat's in the game. You can talk and communicate. That's great. I think talking and saying what missions you have, again, it does show up on the screen when you complete a part of your mission. Shows up for everyone else. So I think that's great. So I just feel the rewards. So this is the one part. So say I've got a large backpack. I want to keep that, because sometimes you can't find one for a while. It can be quite annoying. But it doesn't hurt my soul too much to lose it. So I just need more rewards. So if Activision, if Infinity Ward is watching, more rewards. I know the blueprints are in the safe thing, but I don't care about those. I want more. Let's talk about you just get contraband calling cards. You get more blueprints. I feel like you need something else. So one of the things I really wanted them to do, which they don't do, is to have the cash carry over. I think that would be a huge improvement, because at the minute you exfil, all your cash goes away. You change it for points so you can level up your prestige, but that doesn't matter. It would be so awesome if the cash carried over. So you went into the next game and you've got 100,000, and then you've got something else to go. Oh, I don't want to lose my money. And then you can go to the buy shop and you can buy whatever you like. Even put in loadout weapons as your primary weapon. You can buy from the buy shop. Put that in and have it 100,000 or $1 million. Something stupid. Something so people go, if you've got your awesome sniper rifle with all the attachments on it and you're in the game, and it's not an insured weapon because you also have an awesome assault rifle, power to you. That's awesome. I think carry money over will be just that could be enough to balance out if they don't want to add any new reward. But yeah, so other rewards they can add. It's kind of like, I feel like giving you money that it carries over allows you to have a shop in the menu, so you could buy self-revives or the large backpack before you go into the match with the cash you've earned in the match. I feel like that would give you the more reward and make it more incentive to bring in, take more cash and try and, because at the minute there's really no, unless you want more points, unless you're doing a specific challenge. Like one of the challenges I've got is to purchase a LTV with a turret and a shop. So again, I'm going to have to try and find that, and then use it to kill people at a specific village, and then you've got to destroy it at a specific place. So could be quite challenging if the team doesn't work with me. If I'm on my own, it might be challenging, but not too bad. So it's kind of, I feel like since it is only beta, they'll make changes, maybe. And maybe cash carrying over is the thing. Because I would love a shop here. Just in this area you have a shop. You have a guy who sells to you. You can have like a little, shop front thing, and he can, say stuff to you, quotes every now and then. Just add another element to the game. I think that would be quite nice. Again, you can buy the backpacks from the buy shop, so maybe they don't want to do it, but I just think this is not as crazy hard, and again, you're not going to meet. There's no solos yet. It's all squad fill. So once they add a solo mode, which they'll probably do, I'm not sure if they will, then maybe it'll change, because if they do solo, then they can add more players, and then because they'll have them more split up because they're not starting the same team. Then you can have the team recruitment feature, so the new thing where you can recruit people to join your squad, because you don't have that in this. If you did, I think people would use it. I think you'd have groups of 20. And then you have your 20 versus other 20, and then if you do that sort of thing, you can extend the time of the match, because I feel like that's one thing. At the minute, it feels quite long, but if you added more to do faction zone battles, so you can take over the zones and you get rewards from that, you could take over the whole village and secure the whole village, and then you get the bots coming in and other players. You could have. There's so much more you can do. It's very good that it's a great base to work off of. I just hope they don't work towards the Warzone direction with more players, and then it becomes more Warzone-y, and then you just, you spawn in and then someone parachutes behind you and shoots in the back of the head while you're looting. If you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of Warzone or any battle royales. I do prefer 50 vs 50 in like a Fortnite. 50 vs 50 I think is quite good. But that had staying power, so that's good. They could also do, again, infected. You can do zombie stuff. You can do whatever you like. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. But so I've talked about the missions. I like the missions. I like you can lose things. I like you can bring an insured weapon in. I like that you do start with your tacticals, lethals, and your field upgrade. Field upgrade doesn't matter so much. But these two is good to bring in, because some of the challenges are like exfil with a stim. You can just start with a stim. Why not? Why not start with a stim? Boom. The healing is quite slow, so the stims are more necessary. You're auto healing, so is it the same in Warzone? I haven't noticed, but it's definitely quite long. So I feel like that's probably the biggest part of your vulnerability to bots, is that you don't have much time to heal, because they're going to come close in on you. Sometimes they'll lose you even if you hide and close the door for long enough. They will where's he gone? Because they aren't programmed to search every room. So there is some flaws in the bot mechanics. Stealth from ranged is the most effective way to get rid of them. Sniper rifles and things are very good, especially armored ones. You do want to get those multiple headshots, knock off the armor. Incendiary on the LMG is quite effective too. But again, you want to come in with an armor-piercing weapon, if you can. But then if you lose it, don't sweat it. Headshots are always the key against the low-level dudes. Regular mobs without armor. Juggernauts, I feel like they're not too scary. I've killed them with a squad. We just killed them because they were at a different elevation, so they can't aim in certain spots with the minigun. So they're they have to work with the environment. So you can take advantage of that and kill them, which is good. I found them in the Spec Ops. They were quite challenging unless you ran them over. So the car is the way to get out of it. But in a close confined space in a house, that's where you're going to die a lot, because sometimes the bots have shotguns and they can just bam you down. What else is there to say? Watch out for bots. They are dangerous. If Infinity Ward wanted to, they could program the bots to be so good that no player could ever beat them. They're bots. They can they can headshot you. They got aimbot. They got it all. So their accuracy is kind of, I think about 30%, I think is where their accuracy is at. So they will miss you, and it's kind of like it is on purpose. It's programmed that way to be fair, but they'll still hit you. So it's kind of, they'll build up the damage on you, and that's really the hard part to deal with, is that your healing is so slow that they will build up the damage quite quickly on you. And then you have to move away, and then maybe they'll finish you off with a lucky shot, because they're going to hit you. They will hit you. Some of the other things you can do, stabbing them. So bring in a throwing knife and you can stab them. They could take a few hits. I feel like insta stab with a throwing knife, or even a melee, would be great. What else? I feel like I've talked about pretty much everything. The missions in the game, the contract on the phone, the stuff. So you go in and you finding the Geiger counter. You can do that one even without the Geiger counter. You can just look for the little caches, and there are hidden caches that are in the same spots. Not always, I think. Are they in the same spots? I haven't checked enough. But generally they are in the same spot. So you can, if you spawn in certain spots, know where one is straight away and go grab it. Again, not too big a deal. Kill streaks are quite reasonable. Nothing too. I mean, some of the challenges you need to use them. I'm not too worried about that. What else is there? Missions are fun. I like. I've played games where I've excelled on my own. I've played games where I was left behind and just called another chopper. So they're quite forgiving, until you get close to the radiation, and then they reduce the exfil zones. But yeah, so there's incentive to, if you see someone else exfilling, just let them go. Don't shoot them. Let them go. Don't risk it. That's kind of my attitude. I'm sure it's the wrong attitude for some of you, and you probably think, you're weak, you should get in there and shoot them all. But it's kind of like, I'm like, you want to get on the chopper and go? I'll just take the next one. So maybe they'll change that in the future and have that there's a longer cooldown, or once an exfil is used, a zone's used, it's removed, and they add another random one. So maybe they'll do that in the future. So I could see them doing that. It's totally reasonable. So that would mean in the first part of the game, lots of the exfil zones would be removed, and people would be like, let's go to the exfil. Oh, it's moved. And then, oh no, it's gone. So there could be that kind of element to it. Anything else? The SAM sites, you don't control them for very long. So they'll shoot down maybe 2 supply drops if you're lucky. So that's shooting down the plane from a distance. They will shoot enemy spawning helicopters. But they're not positioned in spots where they really get that much action in terms of that. So again, they'll spawn a helicopter as you're doing the SAM site. When it'll come in, troops will come in. There's no incentive for shooting down the choppers unless you're doing a destroy vehicle mission. There's just no incentive. Because the calling card for vehicle kills is kills... Oh, wait, let me have a look. I'm pretty sure it's kills while you're in a vehicle. Let's go down. Execution, undying, defense, assault. Okay, so killing enemies occupying vehicles. See, look, I haven't got any. When I've killed people in choppers. So it only counts if they're in a... I don't even know how it counts. I mean, it must be just a Warzone thing. Because I don't think it works in DMZ. It's just operators, I suppose. So this is probably one of the hardest challenges in the game to get to maximum. 250, I think. Unless you just, camp the cars and wait for someone to jump in them and then shoot them. Or maybe you'll do it over time in, say, ground war or invasion where people jump in the vehicle. So yeah, one of the things... I haven't played too much... I haven't played any, really. Since I've been playing a lot less because I've been doing a God of War playthrough. Sorry about that. Alright. I'm going to play more. I enjoy the missions. I was playing them. And then I'm like, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been playing for, 4 hours straight. Oh. So where did the time go? So it has that element of replayability of... You just keep playing. It's just, I've got another mission to do. I've got to extract the bandages. Well... And then suddenly time goes by. You play with other people. It's kind of one of the most cooperative versions. I mean, Warzone you play squads, but it's I feel like it's more cooperative than that because there's just no incentive to run off on your own unless you're going to go extract and do your mission. But it's kind of like the bots are so much easier to take care of when you're in a group. I've res the other 2 people. They've resed me, so it's 3, not 4. It could be 4. It should be 4 people, not 3 people. So again, sort of brushed over that. Alright, I think that'll do. So if you're watching this and you want to play, you're thinking of playing DMZ, I say give it a go. I do recommend playing with friends. Every game's better with friends. Simple stuff. If not, do play with other randoms because you'll meet the nicest people. DMZ has the nicest group of players in it. Some people I've encountered, rarely a person who won't res other teammates. But generally, everyone runs over, they res you straight away. You get killed by a bot and you're like, what am I doing? And they come over and they res you. So, they're really nice. You be nice too. You promised me that. You res people. I hate it when people don't res people. And yeah, it's good. I think it's a positive addition to the Call of Duty roster. And it's because it is positive. It's kind of like, because it is such a positive thing, it's kind of like balancing out a bit of the other stuff. There's proximity chat and all that, but you don't run into too many people, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it's a positive element, positive addition to the game, with nice people in it. Yeah, not those damn Warzone evil people. Bastards. Alright then, It's been Frosty Fire 10. I've carried on quite a bit, but this is my analysis, review, assessment. I'll say review because everyone uses the word review. That'll search well, I suppose. Maybe, who knows? All right, this has been my review of DMZ Beta so far. Warzone 2.0. Call of Duty 2022 because it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare II, not 2. I know people could call it 2. It's II, damn it. Alright, Frosty Fire 10, like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you played and you think there's nice people in it. If you don't think there's nice people in it, then I'm, try and play. I'll try, randoms. Maybe we'll play together. Who knows? But yeah, so I hope it gets more like a 4th player, more Spec Opsy, I suppose. More reward the cash carryover. Maybe you can get in a menu buy shop. Yeah, I hope it doesn't become all Warzone. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. It's been Frosty by 10. Bye bye.